On patrol in what was once a healthy pine forest and the anchor of the local timber economy. This team is part of a 70-member militia trying to keep illegal loggers out of the hills that ring the small town of Cheran. After 4 years of raids, all that is left on some hills are remnants of what once stood here. When Al Jazeera came here a year ago, townspeople had kicked out the mayor and police and taken over the town themselves. It was their response to unchecked attacks that has left 20 people dead since 2010.
There's no help from the government, so we have to look out for the village ourselves. Peace and tranquility for this community is all we want.
The villagers ended up playing a strong hand against illegal loggers, kidnapping some and burning their trucks. Like many communities across Mexico, the people of Cheran, a town of just 17,000, feel vulnerable to criminals and corrupt authorities, especially when elected officials meant to protect them abandon them, they say.
For the past year, locals have been manning checkpoints like this one because they thought if they could keep criminals out, they could keep their community safe. But that hasn't always been the case.
Earlier this month, 2 local men tending cattle were kidnapped, tortured, and killed. One of the victims made a phone call to his family before being murdered. Townspeople think they were killed by men from a nearby village with connections to illegal loggers tied to criminal gangs.
It makes me sad just seeing how the land is now and knowing that they are still threatening us because they couldn't cut down all the trees here. And it makes me sad to think of the townspeople who died for defending these trees. It's just sad.
In their desperation, townspeople stormed the Michoacan State Congress earlier this month. One man wearing a mask for his protection urged leaders not to toy with Cheran, but instead protect the community. The state interior minister says the townspeople's demands are unrealistic.
It's impossible for any state to have 1,000 policemen in the woods so that they can go out after each villager that goes out in the hills. I don't think there's any state in the world who can have police protecting their forests.
Villagers hold out hope, at least, in themselves. They've begun replanting the forest, tree by tree.
We'll keep defending what is ours, for us and for our children, who are growing and flourishing.
Town elders like Josefina want the next generation, at least, to inherit a new forest and the responsibility to protect it. Adam Rainey, Al Jazeera, Cheran, Mexico.